wrestler. I am a sports entertainer.
What?
I'll say it again. I am a sports entertainer.
What?
I am a sports entertainer.
This is the Sports Entertainers Podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You are tuned in to Windsor's exclusive wrestling podcast. And dare I say, we have entered a brand new era of pro wrestling as it's your boy, the Frostfather, Aaron Sanders, alongside a guy who has adrenaline in his soul. That is the one and only Kurlis. Maddie, Kurlis.
Hey, Aaron, how's it going? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about a lot of things, but time does not allow for us to get all of that, but we'll get to the main thing in just a moment. And a guy who created his own kingdom, that is the heel, Drake D'Amore.
Boys, when I was young, my father said, wear some damn soap. And I listened to him. And I am so fired up to talk about this WrestleMania, man, that I completely ruined my Cody Rhodes reference. Was not expecting so many in this entrance from all three of us. But, man, oh boy, I'm literally still fired up from Sunday night.
People are going to be talking about this for a long time. The one thing that got to me, and by the way, in case you didn't know, this is a post-WrestleMania episode. The one thing that caught me, gentlemen, at night 2 when Stephanie McMahon came out and said, we are in the new era, the Paul Triple H Levesque era. I didn't know how to pronounce his last name. I thought it was Levesque, but we still know him as Triple H. And lo and behold, the WWE delivered. And even though there's some people that try to counteract that, the star of the show this past weekend was WrestleMania 40. It's not even a Roman numeral XL that equals 40. It lived up to the expectations, and lo and behold, I, like you guys, still stunned at what happened on Saturday and Sunday. So let's get right into it. So night 1 was very good, and the first match we had on the docket was Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Personally, I thought it was a good match, and I like that counter to the Riptide near the end too. It doesn't get better than that. So let's throw the floor straight to Drake, and let's get your thoughts on the Lynch and Ripley matchup.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one, man. I mean, first and foremost, I thought the whole weekend was great. Not everything was top notch, but a lot of people, I'm not sure how people really reacted to this one. I thought it was a good match. Could have cut like a couple minutes out of it, maybe. But the biggest takeaway from it, I mean, to skip to the end for me, is the outcome, is the result here. And that Mommy is still on top. Mommy is always going to be on top. She's still on top, baby. And no one's complaining about that. Again, I predicted Becky Lynch to win this. You guys, so first and foremost, you guys are already 2-0 against me. But I just kind of thought, a year reign for Rhea Ripley. It was just the time to make that switch, right? And Becky's been champion, like, makes sense. But I love the way that they went, and Mommy's I hope that she does like a Roman Reigns type reign one day. Maybe push it another year, see what happens. But for the match, no complaints at all. Very exciting, great opener.
There's nobody in that roster except for a handful that could really stand up to Rhea Ripley and try to threaten her title reign. Although Kurlis, Becky Lynch was a formidable opponent for Rhea Ripley. Let's face it, she has the veteran experience in the ring as well, and she's got that fire in the belly, but that wasn't all it took for her to prevail over Becky Lynch. And as Drake said, Mommy's back on top again.
I thought it was a really good match too, honestly. I mean, it was pretty standard. I expected a little bit more Mania moments, but it was a good opener for sure for the opening of Mania, and it coincided with the opener for night 2, which we won't get into too many spoilers yet about that, but two Judgment Day members. That's all I'll say. So,
And we'll work on that as we get along.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was good. One note about this entrance. Becky's entrance was a little cheesy. She came out of her new book, and she had the writing on her gear.
Yeah,
so I mean,
about that.
that was kind of goofy, but I mean, hey, it's WrestleMania. You can get away with a lot of different entrances. And real quick, I mean, before we get into the rest of the card, what do you guys think of the entrances this time around? I'm a big entrance guy, so you got any favorites?
Motionless in white to bring Rhea Ripley out for one. That was
Oh yeah.
pretty cool of them to come out and lead Rhea Ripley off. So I thought that was a good entrance, and I'm sure there'll be a couple more that I'll talk about later
Mhm.
on as we get deeper and deeper into the card.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, mine's way at the end. But I actually did like I had to do some research. I looked it up, and yeah, I forgot all about the Becky Lynch one because it was forgettable. She looked like a Budweiser can. I think someone say, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the AR stuff, man. The AR stuff's a little weird to me. Even with other wrestlers, to me, it's kind of like it's a very hit and miss.
You got it. Believe it or not, I did what I did last year and graded all of these matches, and believe it or not, I ended up giving it an A minus. That's an A minus for that. So judge it as you will. Lynch and
Yeah.
Ripley was the way things started for night one of WrestleMania. Any other comments before we move on to a match that had pretty much everything going on at once?
Honestly, I mean, let's move it all around, move it all along, move it all along. What do we got next?
That tag team title match, in which I thought at first was a bogus idea, but now looking at it, I'm glad they were able to separate the tag team titles. Kurlis,
Yeah,
you have the floor.
That's my biggest takeaway from that match, actually, is that they split the belts, and R-Truth and The Miz ended up winning the Raw belts, and then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory won the SmackDown belts, which I didn't realize till Mania that their tag team name is a play on both of their names. I don't know why that didn't register for me, but A Town Down Under, I thought it was just like what they were calling Austin Theory, but Down Under because he's Australian. Ha ha ha, I get it. But anyway, yeah, it was a pretty good, I mean, tag ladder match. It's kind of what I expected. Lots of big crazy spots. Lots of painful looking ladder shots. It was good. It was fine. I'm glad they split the belts, and I hope they get a redesign real soon because those red and blue belts look really stupid.
Those Spartan heads are terrible. And Drake, if I'm not mistaken, that has to be Grayson Waller's first main roster title.
easily.
Oh, it is.
I'm not even sure if he ever won one in NXT actually. So if not, it might be his first. It might be his first ever title ever, because I'm pretty sure that he's just a guy they signed right off the street too. Anyway,
Ooh,
um,
right off the street. I
or
wish it was
whatever,
that easy.
like he's just a he was just a guy. I don't think he was like an independent wrestler or anything. I could be wrong, but maybe overseas in Australia. But I thought, yeah, obviously that was a fun match, man. DIYX was great. The little entrance there, they actually looked like them. Well, obviously Tommaso. Yeah, man. R-Truth got his WrestleMania moment. I did not know that they were splitting, or at least viable to split the undisputed tag team titles. I didn't realize. I missed the announcement on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, but I didn't know that, so that was a surprise to me. And yeah, I'm glad that they finally did that. If that's the direction that they want to go, because obviously there's a lot of titles and still some things up in the air with some of them. One of them. But no, nothing to complain about there. Every WrestleMania needs a big match like this, a crazy ladder match, a Money in the Bank. They've done it for years. I think 12 people was a lot of people, but they made it work. It was fun.
I do miss Money in the Bank at Mania, man.
Yeah,
I think that made get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, get rid of themed pay-per-views altogether, and just put Money in the Bank on Mania. It gives people something to look forward to. It gives the casual something to spectate and be like, wow, this wrestling stuff's pretty cool. So
yeah.
I don't know. Just move it, and I don't know. I think one thing I will say about this match I didn't like, just too many bodies, just way too many bodies to keep track of. And if I was, again, a casual viewer, I would be like, there's way too many people to keep track of. As it's a showcase of the year for the casuals viewing it for the first time. And I think when you have that many people, it's like, it's really overwhelming. But that's just my nitpick out of it, coming out of it.
It should be pointed out too, out of the first two matches of the night, two of the winners are from Australia, Rhea Ripley and Grayson Waller. So both
Ooh.
of them got their roses were picking it up. But again, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, Raw Champions, The Awesome Truth. And I was talking with my posse during night one, and then I was telling them, Truth and Miz, they look older than you think. And, that old adage, this may be edited or not, black don't crack. Truth is 52.
Yeah, man.
And Miz is about 42, I do believe. So
Oh.
I don't want to say that this may be their final WrestleMania moment, but if it is, but there's no better way to end it up on top. So they were able to get their roses after being in the biz for a long time. But the question is, how long will the Miz be in the biz with R-Truth as the tag team champions?
R-Truth also got to pay homage to his childhood hero John Cena. By the way, I just have to bring that up. John Cena is younger than R-Truth, so just to break the illusion there. But yeah,
I gave it an A. I gave it
an A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for the ending.
Sure. Well, why not?
Next up, Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Santos versus Rey Mysterio and Andrade. And I'll just say this right off the bat. I don't know what there was to gain this match except for us to see one more Dom and Rey Mysterio matchup. I was hoping Rey would get the whooping on Dom, but we didn't see it. So it got a lower grade out of the first two matches for me. Drake?
Well, in WWE fashion, they do still throw a couple of these matches together at the last minute. There was at least one on each night of WrestleMania, and both, for me, ended up in the same result. Something I had no interest in, didn't care about, didn't need to happen, but I enjoyed it from start to finish. From bell to bell, it was fun. What's not to like? It was just a quick, I don't know, maybe 10, 12-minute match. Got everything in there, and you got to see some of the greatest Philadelphia's own, well, not own, but Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce and the other guy show up. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of Swifties pissed off if you get those mixed up.
I know, I totally butchered that. I'm not really a football guy, but the thing I know about him is that guy is entertaining as hell. So he could be great for WWE, man. And there's always some celebrity involvement, which again comes down the line. But there wasn't really anything announced this year. There wasn't a celebrity match or anything. So, hey, Rey Mysterio, again, is 55 years old. He's been in the business forever. What does he need to do? What's next? Nothing. So he can have a 6-man tag match with Andrade, who looked fantastic. And
oh yeah, 100%.
and Jason Kelce can interfere and help him with, who cares? It was fun.
And the reunion of Andrade and Selena Vega, too, was something I was expecting for a long time. And plus, it was downright expected when this tag team faction.
I thought it was better than I expected it to be, but it was basically just a match on the card. I mean, I'm not gonna say that a match with Andrade, Rey Mysterio, and oh my god, Escobar. Sorry, oh my god. Yeah, I mean those four guys, they're all good. I knew it was gonna be fun and flippy, but it was a match on the card, and I enjoyed it more than I expected it to. So it was good. It served its purpose. It got those people on the card.
Got a -B from me, so we go from flippy stuff to kicky stuff. The Usos, Jay versus Jimmy, gave it one of the lowest grades in the entire card.
Well, so far it's only been a B-.
And you guys probably know why.
Yeah, well, so far you've only given a B- as your lowest, so that's not too bad, man. But disappointing for sure. I think like throughout the match, it wasn't terrible or anything, but it was just it just didn't hit, and then all of a sudden it was just done, and it was just that's it. I don't know, it wasn't like they were botching everything or anything. It just maybe I don't know what people expected. It's exactly what I expected. People were complaining about the super kicks. What did you expect?
I see that wasn't my issue with the match. Actually, the super kicks were perfectly fine because we expected it, but I was disappointed based on the fact that I had high expectations. You got these two brothers that hate each other or whatever, you know what I mean? It should be a blood feud, man. Kill each other. What do you
should have been a stipulation match. They should have thrown just for fun, just to make it interesting, because it was, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought it was good, but the ending for me was like a wet blanket. It just ended. It just, oh, okay, Jay wins. That's it. And it just underwhelming. I think that's the best way to put it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't the best by any means. It was definitely the worst thing on the card. So, I mean, if we're gonna talk about worst match of the night, I'd say it unfortunately was, because I really was looking forward to it. I think it was probably my second or third most anticipated match on the card for sure. So,
As
kind of
expected.
disappointed.
As expected. Drake, let's bring up the first cookie bet, and it was how many kicks will we see in that match alone? I believe you have the total. What did it ring up to?
I have the total. So we have, again, this is a layered cookie bet, Aaron. But to answer your question, the super kicks in the match, a combined number between Jimmy and Jay of 15 total super kicks in their one-on-one match on WrestleMania Saturday.
Which means
Wow.
Kurlis was the closest one, because I believe he predicted 14 in that match alone.
Yeah, we were super tight, right? I think I said 16 or 17, or Aaron said 16.
You said 21, and I
21.
said 8. Kurlis, you're closest without going over.
In
That's
Philly fashion, yo, Adrian, I did it. Yo, sports entertainers, I did it.
You made
I
it.
did a cookie bet that was
All
actually
right.
accounted for.
All right, we got Kurlis with 1 cookie added to the board, and we'll post an updated cookie board, I think, after this WrestleMania episode,
We
because
should.
again, we have at least 2 more to get in there, and it's going to start to fill up a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll get away from the match that was for kicks or lack thereof, or maybe more thereof, to women's tag team match featuring Damage Control and Naomi, Bianca Belair, and the debut of Jade Cargill, who I believe had a decent debut, gentlemen. But my question is, does she have her eyes set on now? Got a pretty high grade from me, and they really made Cargill stand out as
Yeah.
expected. I gave it an A-.
Wow, you're really generous with these scores.
And mind you, I
thought-
was against Cargillberg for a long time, so that says
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good too. Yeah. Yeah, 3v3, lots of fun action. The main standout for me was actually the what's it called? The entrance for both teams, actually.
yeah.
It was awesome. Especially the Jade, Naomi, and Bianca entrance. Oh my goodness. Probably my entrance of the weekend in general, especially that night. That was my main takeaway, is wow, that entrance was awesome. It was the first one that felt like a WrestleMania entrance of the matches leading up, I think.
It's not like it was mixed all together. The fact that Naomi's, Belair's, and Cargill's entrance blended well together, that has to say something. Drake?
I'm surprised they did that, but yeah, it was cool. This is another one that I had nothing for. No expectations, no investment, no care in the world. But man, it was good. It was a good match. And again, Jade looked great. I know her from AEW. I haven't watched a lot of her, but I think she's going to be pretty awesome. She looks pretty good. So I understand she's the Goldberg of WWE, or the women's division right now. But I think she can really prove us wrong. And I hope that she does, because then I'll look really stupid down the line.
I've said it before, I think a previous episode, but her style fits the WWE mold better than it does with AEW. AEW is very work rate based, where WWE is very look at this super powerful being, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
their styles are very different. So
yeah.
Jade fits in like a glove there, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. She found her place, I guess.
Yeah. I'd like to talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw when we get to it, but she did have her first ever singles match in WWE, so we'll see what's next for her. Again, it was a squash match against one of my favorite in the women's division, Chelsea Green, but we'll see what's in store for her down the line. Just getting started in her WWE career, but turn it over to Aaron, 2 guys in this next matchup who pretty much have pretty storied WWE careers at this point.
That's right. And Kurlis, you brought up a Rocky reference when you won the cookie bets. I felt like this was a shade of Rocky for
Yeah.
the IC title match. Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Well,
Now-
a little bit of Rocky 3 in there too, eh? You gotta mention that too. I mean, when they were doing those training montage videos, lots of Rocky 3 references.
I'm scared, okay?
I'm
scared.
Yeah, exactly.
So good, actually.
Those were pretty good promos.
And I think Sami Zayn did confirm this for CM Punk's sake, did confirm that he has seen Rocky 3. So I mean that's something that Sami Zayn has over CM Punk, who said he's never seen Rocky 3.
Thus, he did his homework. Gunther
Yeah.
and Sammy. I liked where Kevin Owens was waiting for Sammy at the gorilla position.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't expect that. And Sammy got his roses. He's the new Intercontinental Champion. That's 2 straight WrestleMania moments for Sammy. Last year, he got his revenge, the Bloodline, and I think he won the tag team titles with that too. And now he's not won another title. But let's take a moment, tribute to an outstanding run from Gunther, who really brought the Intercontinental title back into pretty much the forefront of WWE titles. It meant a lot back then, and he made it a whole lot worthwhile now, surpassing the Honky Tonk Man, Ultimate Warrior, all those great legends. But he said in a promo, it's like, those guys are great, but that was his time. Did that while carrying Imperium as well too. So he may or may not see Gunther for a while, but he had a hell of a run, gentlemen.
One thing you actually didn't mention, so Sami Zayn completing this, ending the longest running IC title reign in history. Last year, Sami Zayn, you mentioned he obviously beat the Usos with Kevin Owens for the longest running tag team reign of all time, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty
sure that was, yeah. So, I mean, hey, lots of really long reigns ending these last few years, and this WrestleMania in particular, which we will get to. We will, in fact, get to. But yeah, awesome match. I think this was probably my favorite match of the night. Of the night of night one. I think it was my favorite match of the night one for sure. Lots of back and forth. There was the one move Sammy did. What was it called? The internet was going crazy.
Brainbuster.
The Brainbuster. Yes, there we go. The internet was going crazy for it. I know. I'm sorry.
They fucking screamed it loud. He hasn't never used it in WWE. That's El Generico's move. That was a huge moment. Huge.
And
Which
people
I didn't
thought it
know
was
it's
a
not
botch.
gone.
Yeah, there was people who thought it was in botch, and I'm like, nah, man, that looks devastating.
I will say though, when Sammy did the Hulova kick when he was on the top rope, I didn't even see him hit like his face. So I thought I was kind of like, what the heck, like. But again, okay. So my take on the whole thing, this was definitely not the best match of Saturday, and
really,
no fucking chance.
I will argue with you on that.
No, go. How is it better than the main event of Saturday?
I thought the main event was great, but this felt like I don't know. I felt like there was more drama.
Anyway.
No, wait. There was way more drama here where there was a chance where Sammy could have lost. Where with Rock and Roman, I think we all kind of knew. I think we all knew Rock and Roman were gonna win. Sorry.
No, because they flipped back and forth that entire fucking match. That thing was.
You didn't think Rock and. I mean.
Yeah, I thought
had
for sure
all
there
the
was
drama.
chances. Yeah.
But okay, all right.
So
let's
I
talk
think
about
that
this
was
match
a
first.
Great match, though. But I don't think that I still don't think he should have been the guy to beat Gunther. That's just my take. I still don't think that it should have been him. I think it should have been Chad Gable. But that's just my take. And now they're gonna wrestle, and that's just not gonna be. It's not gonna be much, right? I just don't like. I think Sammy's more over. He's more popular and shit like that. But I just look at Chad Gable and I look at Sami Zayn. And I think like Chad Gable beating Gunther would be a huge moment and just would be more believable.
I mean, you have one thing right for sure. Gable doesn't really. I mean, sorry, Zayn doesn't really need it necessarily.
And he doesn't.
Yeah, he's already a star. Gable would have needed it much more. It would have been much more of a rub for him, and people would have treated him like a big deal. You have another big babyface in WWE programming. Sami Zayn already is a big babyface. We already love him. Yeah. There's no one out there who doesn't love Sami Zayn. So,
unless enter the bloodline. Anyway,
Entrances. This one I really loved because Sammy was going through all of his, all of his family members, and then Kevin Owens at the and Gorilla saying like, "Go get this, man, go get this," and I thought that was really cool. It really hyped me up for this match, and I think that's why I have a little bit more bias towards this one over the Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, actually. So
Yeah,
there's a lot more emotion.
Okay, Aaron Sanders, Kurlis, Maddie, Drake Demore here, the Sports Entertainers Podcast, Windsor's exclusive wrestling podcast. We are detailing what happened in night 1 of WrestleMania 40. We'll get to night 2 in just a moment. Before we go into night 2, let's talk about the main event for the first night. The Rock and Roman Reigns challenging Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins for stipulations, high stakes, no doubt about it. And if Rock and Roman won, night 2's main event will be all bloodline rules, and in my humble opinion, there are just no rules. And if Cody and Seth won, then the ball would be ever in their court, and the odds would be in their favor. But it wasn't meant to be, as Michael Cole said. Cody Rhodes is screwed. Rock and Roman Reigns prevailed, and I believe he stole the show, especially with that little diatribe he had with the ref near the end of the match. So it just goes to show how powerful the bloodline via The Rock is when it comes to that situation. That was a main event of all main events. For night 1, that is, gentlemen.
Yeah, because it definitely was outmatched by night 2, but
I think that's my biggest I guess maybe that's my reasoning for not liking it as much as the Sammy Gunther match, is because it kind of gets overshadowed by what happens afterwards. And then when I put those two things together, I mean, I don't know, man. To me, it's not. I like the match. I'm not crapping on the match. I thought it was good. Rock looked really good. I was very surprised with the Rock. He wasn't exhausted within 15 minutes. I mean, he looked pretty good. He didn't even look like he broke a sweat. I don't know, man. It was good. It was definitely dramatic. It had all the moments you needed. There was a couple spots I really loved. The back facing curb stomp that Seth did on Roman, or was it Rock? I can't remember. Like when he was on his back and then he did the curb stomp on him. I've never seen Seth do that before.
yeah, I think Rock was going to pop up, right? Or
Yeah, and then that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, a lot of firsts, a lot of things like we never seen before, like that, and the Brainbuster and tons of stuff. This WrestleMania,
yeah,
tons of cool stuff. The RKO. Oh, we'll get to that later. Anyway.
Yeah. And Rock accidentally spearing. Oh, sorry, Roman accidentally spearing Rock, and Rock selling it like death. Like, oh my goodness.
That was so good.
Yeah, that was actually my highlight. But I think for me, maybe it was a little slow in the beginning. I guess that's my nitpick. Again, it's probably my second favorite match of the night. I'm not completely crapping on it. I don't know. I just prefer, maybe it's just preference. Different flavors of ice cream, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I
Which
don't have to
is
defend it. I don't have to defend the match. I mean, it was, obviously everyone saw it. We know that the story is finished, but the story is just begun at the same time.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so much going on in this. There was the dynamic between The Rock and Roman Reigns, again, accidentally spearing him, cousins that came together after that short little whatever with Cody Rhodes. And then the Cody Rhodes story that's been going on for 2 years. This is the first of his 2 matches in this weekend. This is just, the first installment of it. Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship reign, his history with Roman Reigns, which again, this is just a precursor to Sunday night's main event, which obviously was light years ahead of this, but this is just like, these are like Marvel movies. These are like Marvel movies. They hit it on the head and then they keep following up with it, man. And they haven't been able to do stuff like this in so long. And I always think that like WrestleMania Saturday is usually good. And again, we set high expectations for ourselves and we get what we get with Sunday night. And we're usually not that happy. But at the end of Saturday night, everyone was on top of the world, man. And we were still looking forward to that Sunday night and all those implications that came into play. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure who was going to win, really. I thought that The Rock and Roman were going to win, but I also thought that there was a chance that Cody and Seth could win because it would have been the same match, I think.
Regardless, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, 100%. What did you think about the Rock's final boss entrance there? I gotta mention these entrances, man.
I thought that was the best entrance of the weekend. The only thing that was lame was
Ooh.
when he's like, final boss engaged 2.0.
That was so
whatever.
lame.
But like the visual, man, like it's so
Yeah.
cool. It's so cool. And the music and stuff. The fire, the logo. Like
Mhm.
honestly, like to talk about entrances, like Seth Rollins the next night was probably the best. If not,
Oh yeah, that was excellent.
There's another good one.
I
What do you guys
really
got
like
for entrances?
Roman's.
Roman's was
I mean, yeah,
fantastic.
we can just go through that right now.
Cody
prelude.
night too, right? Like everyone had
Mhm.
sick entrances, but those were like the best of the best.
Cody paid tribute to Triple H in his 30 entrance, actually.
Yeah, I did not
That's what he
notice
said.
that either. I didn't realize that until after.
It was pretty damn cool. But I think my personal favorite, I'm gonna go and say Roman's choir entrance. Oh my goodness.
That was cool.
I mean, yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really cool. I mean,
that
yeah,
was the final
Seth,
boss of all final bosses, man. That's
yeah.
the kind of crap you see on Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, I love that. It sounded really nice. I mean, sometimes they'll get a live performance and it sounds like garbage. I remember there was rumors that Downstate was gonna do that's how you say them, Downstate, right? Yeah, they were supposed to do Cody's theme live, and everybody was like, "Please God, no," because they've done it before in AEW and it was garbage.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we don't want, we don't want to do that. We don't want to run into that again.
Fans been spared.
Yeah, fans have been spared. I mean, they've done a couple of those live entrances. They don't usually go good, but with a song like this, it's a choir and it's beautiful and it sounds really nice. So for me, it was a win. It was definitely a win. But yeah, Seth's entrance, I don't want to forget about that. I don't want to underplay that. Wow, what was that? I didn't even know what I was like. I didn't even know what I was consuming at that point. I was just looking at like all these colors and I was like, wow, this is cool.
It's like I was watching Teletubbies times 10.
How many guys do you think were out there? That was a lot of people.
Yeah.
The answer to that question, yes.
Answer that
It was
question
cool, though.
next week on Dragon Ball Z. But that being said, man, like this is Aaron. Sorry to take this from you, man, but unless we're everyone can still say their final pieces whenever you want. But this is a good way to transition into night 2. I mean, talking about Seth Rollins' entrance is almost in the way that we started it off, preceded by Drew McIntyre's entrance. So if you guys are ready, we'll move on to night 2.
Aaron,
do
what's
it,
your favorite entrance, real quick, before
my
we
favorite?
wrap up?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Right.
Gotta be the main event for night 2, but at the same time, I'm still saying Sami Zayn. It's just the storytelling
yeah.
of all that. And
Yeah,
the fact you see your buddy at the gorilla position hyping you the heck up.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
who doesn't
honestly,
get motivated after that?
that's kind of what did it for me. Like, they brought him through the whole ringer there, and then when you seen Kevin Owens, it was like, aha. And right away I was like, yeah, he's winning for sure now. Oh my god. And
good riddance.
that was cool. That was cool. And they followed him right out. Like, that was cool.
Good riddance, Kevin Dunn, man. I'm so like, you can get cool shots like that that you never used to get before.
Well, and they're slowing down on the camera cuts in the ring too, but
Mhm.
that's a topic for a future episode,
Hmm.
I'm sure. All right, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, World Heavyweight Championship, and McIntyre didn't waste any time, did he, boys? Claymore right off the bat.
I thought it
Genius.
was over.
Yeah, I thought for a second that it was over right away. I was like, oh no.
Mhm.
And then again, the match could have still went the same way. But yeah, I mean, smart on his behalf. Why would they put Seth in the last match on Saturday and the first match on
Yeah.
Sunday? Like again,
I
right
think his
away, it's
leg would be messed up by
yeah,
then.
but right away it's like, okay, we'll see you in the main event, Seth. So but it was fantastic, man. Honestly, we were talking about it before. We were trying to come up with our favorite match of the weekend aside from the main event. And at first, I was going to pick this one, and then I said, "Oh, wait a minute! There was basically two main events. There was two main events. Actually, there's 25 main events on WrestleMania." but no, this was a great way to open it up. You got to open it up with a banger. You got to open it up
Mhm.
exciting, and they did that bell to bell in a fairly quick match. And then there was even more after that. Who's next? Kurlis.
Incidentally, CM Punk was the guest commentator for that match, and the match, it impressed me, but of course, what happened afterwards really impressed me. And McIntyre, he had his moment, and you saw Seth Rollins mouth to him, freaking deserve it. So that's just
Yeah,
passing the torch from one
yeah,
person
and
to
you know,
another, but
yeah,
McIntyre took it too personally.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna save what I was gonna say for later. But man, what a match! When he kept kicking out, and they're like, Drew McIntyre is gonna go insane. I was like, he is like, look at him. I can
Yeah.
feel you could tell. I was like, I don't think he can beat Seth. I don't think he can. If you just gave him two claymores and he kicked out, like what the hell. So they do it so well, man. Where like you think you know everything about wrestling, and they still surprise you. Just in the match alone, just in that first match alone, I was convinced
Once
Drew McIntyre was winning this thing, but then it's like, oh no way! Like Seth Rollins is going to reign for 4 years, just like Roman Reigns. Like anything is possible now.
Lots of finisher spamming actually. It felt like they always
Yeah,
had the Y, the
they
what's it
they
called?
all
Press Y to finisher.
they started with three finishers each and just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
It was so much fun though, and the back and forth, and then they Seth was selling his injuries from last night, so there's a lot of storytelling there. So he didn't look weak in defeat. I mean, Seth had a rough weekend in general, but
Yeah,
he didn't look weak here, and yeah, I loved it too. I think it was a really good way to start, and it could have been match of the night if the rest of the night wasn't so awesome.
yeah.
But yeah, um,
He could
and then
wrestle
yeah.
with a broken freaking leg, and he could have still prevailed.
I have a canon reason for why Seth had to wrestle two back-to-back matches like that. Rock's a part of the TKO board. I mean, he just decided, he was
Good.
like, no, we
Yeah.
gotta torture this guy.
Yeah, so I was gonna say like they're punishing him almost, or
Mhm.
or is it like, yeah, okay, we'll just get it done kind of thing, but like I don't know, like maybe hopefully they consulted him and it was his decision, but
So yeah, Drew celebrating and then getting to celebrate with his wife, and then CM Punk saying like he'd rather celebrate with his wife than with these fans because he mentioned that he wanted a live crowd. And then Punk obviously costing him. We can get into this a little bit, but
Bolting the wound.
Damian Priest coming out. So I think it all kind of worked in a way where everyone kind of won. You set up a story with Drew and Punk. You set up Damian Priest, who we thought had no place in the storyline at all. I
forgot
forgot
about him.
about him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
they made you forget that they made you forget about it, and then right away, even like when Seth Rollins cashed in at WrestleMania 31, it's like when you're in that moment, you're not thinking about that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And again, a guy who we were talking about on Saturday, watching it, thinking like maybe he should just cash in for the Intercontinental or the US because like whatever,
Yeah.
like that's the best you're gonna get. And now, like honestly, like man, I feel bad for Drew, but like whatever, like it was a good moment. It was a good moment. And now everything's back together. Now everything's back together. Drew can continue to chase it. I'm sure he'll probably get it from him down the line. And it fulfilled the Money in the Bank. He's not a tainted Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, Senior Money in the Bank. So, at least we can come out of that with some positivity. And I don't know. That's it.
I think Damian Priest deserves it. He's had such a great year. I mean, why not? Let's see what happens. I mean, put it on him, see how it goes, and if it doesn't go well, you can put it back on Drew later on. I mean, they're going to his home country, are they not? They're going to UK
No,
at some point, I'm pretty sure. So why not
Clash of the Castle.
have him win there? Yeah, Clash of the Castle. I'm pretty sure they're doing
no.
a pay-per-view there.
It's in
So,
Berlin. It's in Berlin.
oh, is it
Oh,
in
geez.
Berlin?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know. I mean, either way, yeah, go back to Europe and win it there. I think you'll still get a pretty good reaction. Why not? I don't know.
He'll get a good reaction anywhere he goes.
Yeah, I think Drew's gonna be fine. I mean, he still hasn't signed the new contract, but I'm assuming he's re-signing.
Yeah.
He's had such a entertaining run as this heel character.
Yeah.
I think he's been peak WWE TV.
Yeah, he's their guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
shit.
we can move on. What's next? What's next,
Uh,
Aaron?
Now that piece of crap match, AOP, Karrion Kross versus Bobby
Oh, yeah.
Lashley and Street Profits. Again, one of the lowest grade matches. Dave Meltzer, you can get at me anytime. I gave it a C, and I'll tell you, I saw Botchamania. That damn table refused to go over, guys. We have Bubba Ray as the special guest referee, so boy, did that suck. And Snoop Dogg was on commentary, so you know it sucks
Yeah.
when they have somebody more entertaining on the headset than what's going on in the ring. What a piece of garbage.
That was my biggest takeaway, though, was Snoop Dogg on commentary. Gotta have Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania. Snoop Mania,
Snoop is
too.
hilarious.
Yeah, he was so funny on commentary,
It's
too.
so funny.
Have you ever seen him do any, like, I've seen him do commentary at, like, some LA Kings games, man. He's so funny. Oh, my God.
Oh,
He
really?
does
It's just
that.
like that.
He
It's just
used
like
to-
that. Anaheim
Oh,
Ducks
they're
used to
taking
host.
out,
Sorry.
it's like they're taking out the picnic tables. I was dying. I was like, what are you even saying at this point?
So he could add color commentary for WrestleMania to his resume. He's also hosted the Joker's Wild before the pandemic. That was a game show. He did a hell of a job there. So anytime you put Snoop Dogg there, he ain't going to disappoint. Plus, he also hosted a segment in the Olympics a few years ago with Kevin Hart. So he's multi-talented for a reason. But again, watch Mania. I don't know what their deal was with not getting a table all set and ready, but whew, that took a lot out of the match, and it sucked. It just straight up sucked. Anybody who's anybody's going to get on that card one way or another. I understand the storyline, but it didn't bode well with me.
I thought it was fine. It was a match that existed. They put all the fun things on it to make it entertaining. They put Bubba Ray Dudley as the special guest referee. They had Snoop Dogg on commentary, and they had the Extreme Rules stipulation. I thought it was fine. It was what it was. It was definitely a weak point, but having Snoop on commentary did bring it up for me a little bit, and I watched the whole thing because of that. I was actually gonna go upstairs and get some snacks, but then I heard Snoop talking, and I was like, I'm staying for this one.
Gotta. It's
Yeah.
a must see. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate it that much. Obviously, it had nothing to do with anything except for Philadelphia, ECW. Snoop is not from Philadelphia, so. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a quick little ECW throwback match. I didn't care for Bubba Ray Dudley. I don't know.
I usually don't care for Bubba Ray Dudley.
He just
Yeah.
came out of nowhere, no? I mean, I know he was there for the Hall of Fame.
He was there for the
but
Hall of
just-
Fame and shit. And yeah, I don't know.
They were just trying to throw as much as possible on this one to give it interest, and I mean, give them effort for trying, I guess.
Yeah. Let's move
In
on.
Snoop, we trust.
Let us move on. We spent way too much time on this one.
Oh, one more thing before we move on to the next one. Snoop Dogg had a little bit of a blunder when it came to announcing the attendance. I know it's late in the show.
Of course.
I mentioned it now. He added 420 at the end of the attendance, and I guess they edited it out the next night because that wasn't the right attendance record. But screw it, it's Snoop. 420 galore.
Snoop should have done Cody Rhodes' theme music for
Oh,
WrestleMania.
that would have been sick.
LA Knight and AJ Styles is next, and I didn't feel anything out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, LA Knight is a better grab in WWE than AJ Styles is now, but it felt like a normal match to me. Something you would see on Friday Night SmackDown as their main event.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
halfway into the card of night number 2, and I don't know, nothing's there to gain.
Wow,
Yeah.
actually, I actually really enjoyed this one. I thought this was probably one of LA Knight's best matches. But I mean, you put you put AJ Styles with pretty much anyone, and he'll get something out of him. But I thought it was pretty good actually. Made it LA Knight look good, and right guy won, and yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I think like for me,
That was our prediction too.
yeah, I think that's it. Like the thing for me, like yeah, I agree with Aaron. Like it was just a match. Like it wasn't like crazy. It wasn't terrible or anything, but it wasn't like anything you wouldn't see on a Friday or Monday. But yeah, the right guy won, and I'm glad that that's his first WrestleMania match ever. First off, and that
Yeah.
he gets a win. Over a guy like AJ Styles is definitely it's definitely going to rise his stock a little bit in the WWE sense. But I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but I think they pretty much just made like a upper mid carder with LA Knight, and that's fine. That's cool. He might who knows, in the world title picture could change, but I don't see him, like, he might get chances, but he probably will never be champion. But
You don't think so? I think
Nah.
they need to strike while the iron's hot. I mean,
Well,
yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, considering how over he was during the summer, they probably should have just given the Money in the Bank to him. But
I mean, the Slim Jim thing is going on right now, and he's not the champion, so
you're right.
how much does he need it? I don't think he would, does it deserve it or anything like that. I just don't think that they're going to put him there. And you know what? I think like the real thing could just be maybe based on rumors, his demeanor.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And you know
I
what?
heard
You know
about
what?
that.
Did I ever tell you I fucking met this guy?
Yeah, you did actually.
Okay.
Tell the
Yeah.
story.
He's
Go
just
ahead.
a dick. Like he was just a dick. Like he wasn't like he didn't like do anything like to harm me or anything. But like it was at BCW, and like he just like it was. You could just tell like he thought he was better than me, And he was like, I was setting stuff up, and he was doing his merch table, and he just like, hey, you got pens? Hey, you got this? Hey, you got that? And like he wouldn't even like look at me. He didn't say thanks. He's just like a fucking Triple H in 2005 or something,
He's the
But great
megastar. He
wrestler,
is better.
great wrestler. I mean, on the mic, but whatever. So who knows? They say that if he's getting heat, maybe that's a part of it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I
I'm
don't like
hoping.
that shit.
I'm like you know how they sometimes give pushes to the losers of the matches. I'm hoping to see AJ versus Cody at some point, because now
Sure.
that Cody's
Yeah.
champion,
Yeah,
I think that would be really good.
He's a former champion. Why not?
AJ deserves a. I think. I mean, this is a little off topic, but I think AJ Styles deserves one more run before he retires.
Yeah.
One more run with the title, with a title, a world title.
Maybe world heavyweight. Get him on Raw, and he'd be perfect for that division.
Yeah, 100%. AJ's AJ. He's good no matter what.
Aaron, what do you think of this one? Well, you already said you suck. You hated it, but I mean,
I didn't think it was the best match in the card. So
what do you think
C
of
plus,
AJ
C plus
Styles?
for me.
Yeah.
But well, I agree with you both. AJ Styles, I don't know how long he has left in the WWE, but he deserves one more run. And LA Knight, I feel like he's going to have another spectacular match in the Money in the Bank in the summer. Don't know what it's going to be, but I'm interested to see who he's going to go up against in the next. So he's got to be in the title picture for sure, but matter of when are you going to pull the trigger on that? So
maybe who wins Money in the Bank this year? Actually, I just thought of that.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That'd be a step above winning the Slim Jim Memorial Battle Royal Rumble, whatever the hell we saw the SummerSlam.
Detroit made it look like he won the Rumble. We popped big.
Just remember, we did that.
Sports
entertainers did that. We're recapping what happened in Night 2 in WrestleMania. Kurlis, Drake, and I, Aaron Sanders, here. Let's go to the U.S. Championship match between Randy Orton, AO, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. I'll say this. Through that guy, but like everyone else has said, he put on another great show. Prime or not, he was definitely in his prime in that one.
I don't know who that guy was in the prime bottle, but
another one of his friends. It wasn't
nevertheless.
He's a streamer.
Yeah,
he's a streamer.
nevertheless, like, yeah, Logan Paul did his thing. I have to say, I was right. I said he
I'm
was going to
disappointed you were.
win. So I was convinced that after Sami Zayn wins, Kevin Owens is going to win. They got belts just like they did last year. This time on their own, they have a moment, whatever. And they did him kind of dirty because they did the entrance for him too. They did the entrance with like
Yeah, the
Sami
golf
Zayn and
cart.
stuff. So I was like, well, not that, like with Sami Zayn. They,
Oh yeah,
and then they, for whatever reason, combined their entrances. It was funny, but yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, he's definitely winning. And then Logan Paul beat him.
yeah. He's the one who. Yeah, he's the one who ate the pin. Actually, that's the
Yeah.
most disappointing part. It was a good match, actually. Yeah, it was fun. It was a triple threat. I always enjoy triple threats.
Yeah. That was good.
One of my top matches in the whole card.
Yeah.
Did he do a big RKO, Drake? I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember right now either. He did it to. It was like it was super out of nowhere, but it was another unique thing they came up with for WrestleMania. I'll have to try to pull it up here, but
Was
that
it not
was
the
my biggest
finish?
spot. Well, he didn't win, so no.
Oh
But-
no, it was the no. I mean that was the finish, as in like that was the last sequence. I think
I can't remember.
KO was trying to do the pop up. Randy RKO'd him, and then Logan came in to capitalize. That's what it was.
I think that's it was the pop up power
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah, that was the last few sequences of the match, the finish there. So yeah, that was really cool. That was a cool RKO. Not as coolest RKO, but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty fun.
More WrestleMania moments continue with the Women's Championship match. Io Sky, the reigning champ, against Bayley, and this was a match. This was pretty predictable, but Bayley got her moment, so good on Bayley for picking up the dub.
I love this match. It was really fun. The crowd was so into Bayley, man. They were doing the Hey Bayley, like the Hey Bayley song. It was so good. The back and forth. There was a couple parts where I don't know what it was. I think did Bayley do a Hurricane Rana and then like Io landed on her feet or something like that? But it was really freaking cool. It was cool, and yeah, they were probably my, I want to say, second or third favorite match of the Sunday night. I thought it was really good. I had big high expectations for this one, and they were fulfilled. So I'm happy.
I expected Damage Control to come in and interrupt, but
yeah, me too.
None of them did. It was a clean match.
Surprising, yeah. I thought that was a good match. I thought this one, my takeaway for it, obviously Bayley's moment. She got her moment there, but during the match, like going into this, I was convinced that Bayley was going to win, but it made me flip flop. It was one of those matches where I was like, oh man, like I don't know, like in these moments, like I think almost too much. I think like maybe they can continue Io Sky's reign, and maybe they can do this with her, and maybe that's why. Like those are the things that I think about, like while the match is going on. Like, okay, maybe they're going to do this with her, and they're going to book her like this, and so she's going to retain at WrestleMania. But yeah, anyway, I was wrong, and that's the excitement. That's the suspend your disbelief from moment to moment. That is a good wrestling match.
I don't think that'll be the last against Bayley in Damage Control.
Oh,
in
no.
Way, shape, or form.
No, you see a rematch down the line probably.
I think the main thing is that made you suspend your disbelief. I mean, made you a little eerie about it. Maybe made you a little hesitant. Was that so many good guys were winning? So there was a lot of like, maybe Bayley doesn't win. We're so used to the Vince era where we don't get that happy ending all the time.
Because there's still like that WWE foil, but it is something new, and we haven't really figured out what that is yet. Because this is like our second or third, like probably second, like good WrestleMania in a row. Like the one before that had potential to be really good, and then honestly, Vince McMahon kind of ruined it by putting himself in a match. But nevertheless, let's focus on this year and going forward, because it's so freaking awesome, man. That was our co-main event, and okay, so before that, what do you guys think? Everything is on pace for a good WrestleMania before we even get into the main event, correct?
I mean, if it wasn't for if it wasn't for the main event, I'd already give this show an A minus. This is these two days for me an A minus, absolutely. But this main event kind of puts it over the edge. So let's get right into it, right?
The end game of end games in the world of professional wrestling. We talked about cinema, but this was a storybook ending, and now last year's ending to WrestleMania makes a lot of sense, guys. There are a couple of things to take away from that. Uh, I don't know if I want to go first and then just piggyback off of you guys, but you know what,
Let's
Drake? You're the storyteller. You know all the deets. What's your thoughts on what's going to go down as one of the top main events in WrestleMania history?
Okay. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I kind of want to like start from the start and go into it, but like, man, like, come on. Better than WrestleMania 30, better than WrestleMania 20. Of the modern era, the best ending of WrestleMania for sure. For sure. Like we'll get to the end game of it all, but man, that it was unbelievable. Like I'm still like kind of shaking, man. Yeah, so much going into this thing. For 2 years, Cody Rhodes has been building this story, and like you said, Aaron, it makes so much sense why he had to lose last year at WrestleMania. And you know what, another flashback to last year. We were talking just after. Don't touch that. We were talking just after WrestleMania. That's my championship belt. We were cat's trying to get it. And we said, you know what? If Cody Rhodes at this point, if Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania 40, I don't even care. I don't even care. You know how stupid are we? Why the hell did we say that? Why the hell did we say that, man? And man, the stuff with The Rock coming into it, almost ruining it, that made it real. That made it real in an era that's not supposed to be like this anymore, you know? And it just added to the drama going into this thing before it even started. I mean, Cody Rhodes, man, you guys know he's never been my guy. I don't have nothing against him. I think he's a great wrestler. He's over. I'm not a Cody crybaby. And you know what, man? I was so emotional by the end of that match. Like, holy fuck. Like that was just pure art. And we'll get into the poetry of this match too, when everyone else started to get involved in the layers and the background, the depth of this. It was unbelievable. And I honestly have never praised something in wrestling, I don't think, this much. And I feel freaking weird because I like there's stuff out there that I will go down in history loving more that has already happened in this era and stuff like that. But no, undeniably, this is the best storytelling we have seen in our lifetime. Like I can't attest for WrestleMania 1 through 16, but from then on, I watched them as it happened. And this emotion, this raw emotion is never going to be topped, I don't think. I hope that they do. I mean, you got 10 years to WrestleMania 50 to make it even better because, you know, no one predicted that Cody Rhodes would be winning at WrestleMania 40 after Daniel Bryan did it at WrestleMania 30. And that is an afterthought now. I don't know. That's my take. And I'm wearing a shirt. We'll get into the match more, but that's my whole thing. More details on the match as we go in. But like, oh my God, just for the what happened, like that was incredible.
The match itself, back and forth, like to start before all the interferences, was really good. These guys have really good chemistry.
I think so.
I think they have really good chemistry.
I'm taking a lot here, but like people are saying that without all those surprises and stuff, I was like, I don't know, man. I think it was a good match. Like,
no,
I think it was good.
I thought it was as good as their 39 match, and their 39 match was really good.
Yeah,
considering
it was similar. It was very similar, and you know, it wouldn't have ended. It wouldn't have, yes, and it wouldn't have ended the way it did without anything else. So, oh man, I'm fired up. Aaron, what do you think, man? I mean, I said my spiel. I want to get into like, you know, the details of the match and like what happened when and stuff like that. But just like, you know, what did you think, man?
I got a question. Who the hell expected The Undertaker?
I didn't.
I was thinking I was going to expect Stone Cold for, you know, one more time for him to get on top over The Rock because of their history. But damn, when it comes to the Undertaker, nobody expected that. Nobody expected John Cena to come out. But then he has some issues with Solo Sikoa
and Roman,
as far as I'm concerned, and Roman. And another thing too was I didn't expect Seth to come out, let alone come out in his Shield garb.
Yeah.
So you know that's big ass storytelling right there from what happened 10 years ago. Roman got his revenge. Seth got his comeuppance, but it definitely cost him.
It cost him.
That's just fantastic.
poetry, man. It was that was so nice. Obviously elephant in the room. We all thought that John Moxley or Dean Ambrose was going to be part of that storm, right? Like I thought there was a chance, right? And yeah, Seth
Seth was the sacrificial lamb in that.
Oh, he was right away. He got Superman punch, laid there like a goof, and I thought, what the heck was that? But man, it was just perfect. It was exactly what they were trying to do, and we didn't see it coming. We didn't know what was going on. But just that shot where Seth's crawling up and he goes for that chair shot, that cost him. He's been thinking about that for 10 years, and it started to come out in the last 6 months and stuff, with this feud. Didn't really realize how much Roman held that to him. Because again, when that happened, Dean Ambrose chased Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns wrestled Randy Orton. He just went off into his own feud. They just started making him his own thing.
Yeah.
But continuity. He was pissed the whole time, but the family, and he had to, believe that and all that. So he had to do what he had to do at the time. But he finally had a chance to get back at Seth Rollins, and it cost him everything he's ever wanted or loved in his freaking life, which is that reign, that title, that tribal chiefism.
Well, he Superman punched him right before he attacked Roman. He attacked The Rock. So what's more important to him than his petty revenge as well is his his care for his family in a sense. So he came in and he Superman punched Seth Rollins immediately. It was quick. It was quick, and his hatred for Seth and his protection of The Rock. It was. Wow. I mean, I want to backtrack a little bit too. Solo doing the thumb to the throat of Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes kicking out this time. Whew, that gave me a heart attack, man.
I couldn't believe it.
It's like he gained immunity from all those spike thumbs out of all these years, right?
Well, okay, we'll go in order. So first to interfere was Solo, right?
No,
or was it Jimmy? Jimmy first.
So
then Jay.
This is also 2 parts of a cookie bet here.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
let's get that wrapped up.
Well, that's it. So Jimmy comes in, and then Jay, and Aaron actually texted us during that. So we had 2 cookie bets within one. Aaron has taken one, or Kurlis has taken a cookie for that match, but we also had a second bet for how many super kicks would be throughout the weekend for both Jimmy and Jay combined. So obviously their singles match, assuming we would see them maybe even in Saturday night's main event, and of course in Sundays. Obviously they had a quick little spill on the off of the ramp and a little Donnybrook on it, which resulted in only 3 super kicks. So that brings a total of 18 for the weekend between the Usos. And I definitely didn't get that one because I think I said 47 or something.
Kurlis, you and I get to split it. We both predicted 21 in the entire weekend.
The undisputed, universal cookie bet champion, Kurlis, Maddie, and Aaron. But also
Wait a minute. There's another one too.
There's another one, and we'll get to that. The other one was for the number of interferences, and we have just begun that. So obviously, kind of the Usos a little bit making up for last night or the night before, doing a little spot in that spear off of the stage.
That was better than in a match.
That was some kamikaze stuff, man. It's like, what are you guys doing? Finishing the story from a night ago?
It was awesome.
Man.
That was cool. So that was our first, whoa, okay, here we go. And that was all right, it's starting now, right? What's going to happen next? And then
that was 2.
It was Solo, right?
3.
Solo, yep, yeah, it was Solo.
So Solo comes in. He starts doing the spikes. They can't get Cody pinned.
They did the spike and spear combo.
Dun, 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 dun. John Cena. That was crazy, man. Come on. And I kind of knew that one, but it was perfect. And he came in I seen him on Pat McAfee's show the next day, and he was like, yeah, I can't run. I don't look good running. But he jogged out to the thing. But once he got in the ring, just going right after Solo, dude, he hit an AA on Roman Reigns, the only guy that touched him in this interference too. And then right away crawling out to the ring and getting that AA on Solo through the table, that crowd was insane. They were so into it that night. After being freezing cold on Saturday night, they were pumped and ready for that Sunday night, man.
Yeah, Cena came back for his revenge, and then Who else came after that?
Ooh. It's like those moments, dude, for our fifth interference. That was a moment where it was like, oh, and you can see like in John Cena was like, oh shit, they did that perfectly. Another good moment. You can see the Titantron behind him. I still call it that. You see the Titantron behind him, and he's like, oh man, again, another layered story. This goes back 10 years. Two guys that hate each other who have battled out at WrestleMania. And again,
Thrice in a lifetime.
thrice in a lifetime. They meet in the ring. We know who it is. It's The Rock, guys. He comes down swearing like a motherfucker. And funny anecdote I heard or comparison I heard from Brian Alvarez. They get in the ring, and it's Black Adam versus Peacemaker, and they're like, it goes exactly how that fight would go. John Cena throws a right, he gets rock bottom. What did you guys think at that point?
Cena just dies. Like, he doesn't come back after that until the end of the match. He just disappears. Goes to the Shadow Realm.
Gulag.
Yeah. And then Rock starts whipping Cody at this point.
He's about to. He's about to.
He's about to.
Mama Rhodes out.
Yep.
But like Aaron, like at that point you got The Rock and the John Cena moment for you. Like that must have been pretty cool, right? Were you going nuts when you were watching it?
I was losing my mind. I couldn't hear myself think because of the group I was with at the time. We were going crazy. We thought my boy's landlord was going to come up and kick us out, but that was pretty good. Again, I was expecting Stone Cold, but we got The Undertaker instead for, could be his last WrestleMania moment before he just, drops out of everything altogether. But man, just perfect storytelling. But again, Death coming out in the Shield Guard threw me the hell off because I thought he was done for, and I'm wondering to myself, how much more damage can he take, and how much more can his leg take, because he was in a freaking blender a whole weekend. So that was shocking to me. Which brings us to 6 people, I believe, and if we end up with 6 people, Rick ends up getting the bet on the nose.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Damn it, not undisputed.
I had a feeling.
Oh, not undisputed.
So we've counted all of them? I thought I had 7. Do we have 7?
That's all of them.
Yeah. Was there another one? Oh, if there was another one.
So
I don't even know.
Pretty much the whole bloodline, right? Even if you go Jimmy, Jay, Solo, The Rock, Taker, Cena, and Seth.
Oh, wait, that's 7. Kurlis, you got it.
Disputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of Cookies right here.
I'm giving you guys both seriously a half a cookie.
Listen, y'all can have your cookies. I got pie because I need
pie.
I
need a Paul Heyman. I need a Paul Heyman to announce me every time I come into this podcast. Anyway,
always AI.
My one nitpick actually was what's Undertaker's skin in the game?
So Undertaker had that horrible match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33. That is what sent Undertaker into a depression and started the last rejuvenance of his career. He went away for a while. They thought that was it. He put his shit in the ring and retired. And he said, I can't retire like that way because it was horrible. Right. And he bounced back and he came back and he won the Quake Cup against AJ Styles, or better yet, actually, I think he had the match against John Cena first. And then he won the cup in Saudi Arabia and had his last ever match. Yes, that's correct. What are you going to add to that?
Wait, what was the Quake Cup? I don't even remember that.
Exactly. It was in Saudi Arabia. So they had a cup. They had a tournament, the international tournament, and it had pretty much just Rey Mysterio and a bunch of Mexican. Well, he's American too, anyway. So
nobody gave a fart about that then. No. We don't give a fart about that now.
And AJ Styles was in the finals, and I think he was supposed to wrestle Shane McMahon, and he didn't show up or something. And the Undertaker came out, walked out, chokeslammed him 1, 2, 3, and he won this tournament that he was never in. So that's how their feud started leading into WrestleMania.
Oh, I didn't even remember that. That's a deep cut.
And if it wasn't for that, if the Undertaker would have had a good match with Roman, he would have walked away and none of that would have happened. But it fucked with him. And I think he even had the Saudi Arabia matches after that too, which,
they were all pretty awful.
Yeah, I
But
guess he
yeah,
had the one
okay.
with Goldberg too. But anyway, and there's that, and he's a representation of WrestleMania. And who doesn't want to help Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
Everybody that interrupted was a part of the bloodline one way or another.
So that's the thing, right? I was not complaining about the Undertaker being there because it's the Undertaker. Like that's not whatever. I don't care.
And
So
I think Stone Cold just didn't want to do it or something, so they got the Undertaker.
that's what I heard.
I don't blame him. He was
But
busy
honestly,
watching after his house
it probably
cat.
made more sense. Like it would have been a more like, again, okay, so if The Rock comes out to John Cena and he's like, ooh, and then he takes out John Cena and Stone Cold comes out, then The Rock's like, oh no, right? So again, that's where everyone was going. That would have been the perfect moment. Who knows why Stone Cold did or did not want to do it, whatever the reason is. Or maybe The Undertaker made more sense because he did have a more recent history, any history with Roman.
Or maybe it's because Undertaker was there. But
Yeah,
I mean,
too,
hey,
yeah.
hey, when you hear that gong or whatever. I mean,
Now, I wasn't
that's all
expecting that.
about.
I was not was not expecting that. Honestly, that out of all the Undertaker gongs, I don't think I would get that excited for it if it happened on Monday, but that moment, holy crap. And I went golfing with a couple of guys yesterday. One out of the four I did not know. I just said, oh man, WrestleMania was great this weekend. And he goes, I wasn't expecting The Undertaker. So then we just started talking about wrestling the whole time. And again, we were not expecting The Undertaker. But at that point, he lays out The Rock. Right? He goes away.
And then
he just fades away. And now it's back. Now we're kind of back to a one-on-one situation, right? Then Seth comes in, right?
No, Seth comes in, and then Roman immediately takes him out with a Superman punch. And then, and then Roman wants to attack Seth rather than Cody. He had the choice, but he went for Cody. He went for Seth instead because of his beef with him in the Shield. Like you said, Drake, Dean already did all of his. He got his revenge on Seth. Roman really never got his revenge on Seth, and he saw him wearing that Shield vest. He got to him.
Gave him a little bit of PTSD.
Yeah, and he whacked him with a chair. And the commentators did a really good job at explaining this too. Michael Cole, that's revenge. Bam, and then Cody took advantage of that. And 1, 2, 3. I love Michael Cole's call here, where while they were counting, it was finish the story.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Bro,
end of the match.
Biggest pop ever.
Samantha Irvin's emotional announcement.
Samantha Irvin, man. She was like breaking. She was breaking a little bit. Apparently, she doesn't know the results. She doesn't know the results going into the matches.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't, unless she's has to be involved. But wow, just so beautiful. The call. Again, you kind of talked about or even asked about the announcers throughout the weekend before we started recording, and they were obviously great. So many good calls and hilarious. Kind of weird. I mean, Pat McAfee was just swearing all the time. There was that one moment where someone came out and Michael Cole was like, "Holy!" and then Pat McAfee just goes, "Shit." But they were great. They are such a good dynamic. They've been fantastic, and just beautiful, man. I think that was the biggest pop I've ever heard, ever.
One of the calls Michael Cole made that I really liked was when the match finished, he just straight up says, "I love professional wrestling." It was just
they're saying that
echoing.
so much too, right? I know it's cat's out of the bag now. They're getting away from the sports entertainers thing, but I did notice that on the pre-show on Saturday. I was like, "Ooh, professional wrestling!" Eh? And what a time to be alive, man! It's bringing me back.
100%.
I feel like 20 minutes has passed since WrestleMania. I'm still in that.
I'm still feeling it. 100%.
That never
feel
happens.
that.
And again, I'm not even the biggest Cody guy. I was like, if he loses, I don't, whatever. We still got. I'm still watching wrestling, man.
I also really liked the celebration. Have they ever done that before? In
they
recent
did
times?
back in 10.
Yeah,
They started out with WrestleMania 10.
Yeah, they
So
did with Lex and Brett and
Macho Man.
Macho Man. But they didn't really extend it like that, where he got on the mic and he cut a shoot promo basically, and he brought Triple H with Bruce Pritchard out. What the fuck?
It felt like a curtain call in a way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But it was the
fans did
opposite
not
of
want to. Yeah, they did not want to cheer for Bruce Pritchard, by the way, when he came out. It was just kind of like, eh, hooray, I guess. But they cheered for Triple H, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, needless to
And
say,
when
man, we love this WrestleMania.
Yeah, 100%. I gotta mention the group of people that were celebrating with Cody were all baby faces that were foiled by Roman Reigns. You had LA Knight, you had Randy Orton, you had Jey Uso, you had Sami Zayn, you had Kevin Owens, you had Randy Orton. They all had some sort of history with either party, Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. And that I don't know, I think that added something. I mean, it was a lot of fan service for not the sake of it wasn't fan service for the sake of fan service. You got what you wanted. You got your happy ending. You got all the people you wanted to be involved with the thing, involved with it. Carrying Cody on the shoulder, on their shoulders. It was beautiful. It really was beautiful. It made me appreciate pro wrestling even more.
Yeah, it was art, man. People are fake. Wrestling's real, man. They made that was real. That was real.
Yeah.
That's why Samantha Irvin was crying. That's why everyone was fucking crying. That's why everyone was everyone in the back. I wonder if there's one person that, in the back of their head doesn't want Cody Rhodes to be the champion. I doubt it. I really doubt it. But maybe. But I doubt it. Everyone's invested in this. This is a big moment for everybody. You've seen people obviously from AEW there losing their minds, like Ricky Starks. It was pretty real.
Actually, one thing I would do, I guess I understand why they couldn't do it because of contracting, but Dustin Rhodes should have been in there with them, man.
Yeah, they should have let him. I don't know who made that decision, but come on.
Tony Khan.
Yeah,
I think it might be Triple H, to be honest, because
so.
he doesn't
they
want
gotta
to conflict with.
But they put Chris Jericho on there before. They've put Bryan Danielson and actually acknowledged their names. You didn't even have to. I guess you'd have to acknowledge Goldust, but at least put him in the front row. They wouldn't even let him sit in the front row. He was in a box.
Yeah, unfortunate. I wouldn't blame this all on Tony Khan. I think it's just a contracting thing where both parties cannot agree on something.
But
yeah,
how can you not agree on that when the biggest moment of wrestling, it's his brother,
I don't know, man.
It's his brother. It's all about Dusty Rhodes,
It's just strange because a few years ago in the Hall of Fame ceremony, they had what's his face, Billy Gunn. When DX was inducted in the Hall of Fame, right? So,
well, in the video package, they showed footage of the Young Bucks, a photo of the Young Bucks and Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
That's because they weren't allowed to show the footage. You could show stills, but not videos.
Mm.
Oh, I'm surprised they even included it, though. I mean, WWE likes to, this WWE doesn't, but WWE historically likes to erase stuff that isn't theirs, right? They don't want to talk about that stuff. This version of WWE, that was another thing that was a big takeaway from the Paul Levesque era, is that we're acknowledging other wrestling companies exist, and that's awesome.
And why not?
I'm totally cool with that.
Even AEW should do it
at the top.
What?
No, Drake, I was saying it's the WWE may be at the top, but see, here's the thing: they wouldn't be at the top unless competitors were there. Without their competitors, they would be nothing. So you got to acknowledge that in some way, shape, or form, and not think that you were number one the whole time. I mean, you bought out WCW. You understood it's a lot of people went to TNA or the Impact Zone one way or another. You got to acknowledge that history because wrestling fans, they're not ubats, okay? They're not ubats.
And it's just wrestling. Even AEW should do it in the sense of not think that they're lesser and they allude to them, but they won't say their name kind of thing. What the fuck?
Oh, they do it all right, but they do it in a petty way.
That's what I'm saying. Honestly, Aaron, you know what I was thinking about, and we'll get back to WrestleMania. When we do the Express games and stuff, me and Aaron call the Windsor Express basketball games. We talk about this guy played in this league, he played for this team. It's not like we're beefing with another league, and even if they are, we still have mentioned their history and stuff like that. So why not? Any sport does it. Any sport does it.
It's our job to be impartial in the first place, and they're facts.
Yeah, it's just facts.
I like the way AEW brought up, Danielson brought up. I won the main event of WrestleMania. We're allowed to say WrestleMania now, and that's great. Go ahead, man, because it just. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what WrestleMania is. You're not advertising them. You're just saying, "Hey, I did that. That's an accomplishment I did." So yeah, there's ways of doing it, and sometimes it's a win. Sometimes these companies, for these companies it is a win. Other times it's kind of it is petty. It comes off as really petty. So, but yeah, no, I mean, any other thoughts about WrestleMania, the main event? You have any closing thoughts?
Let's do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I could talk about this all day. I think we're running too long, but like we're talking about it all day, man. I think if not, okay, definitely like the greatest WrestleMania moment in like modern history, or sorry, ending, the end of WrestleMania in modern history, potentially of all time. One of the best wrestling matches of all time, one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. I'm not just going to say it's the best because you just can't. You got Shawn and Taker, you got all, too much stuff, but it's definitely up there in probably the top 5. It's one of the best WrestleManias ever.
It felt like the season finale of WWE. Like it felt like I was done. Like, okay, if I for some reason finished watching wrestling forever, which I will never do, but if I stopped watching wrestling at this point, this would be a good conclusion to the WWE, especially the WWE. It felt really just nice, warm and fuzzy.
Well, this could have been the WrestleMania we could show to anybody that's never watched wrestling before and understand this is just pure cinema. This is like a movie. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. And I'll tell you, the last time my heartstrings was tugged in a significant situation like that was this past year's Super Bowl. You could have gone either way. WWE could have just said, oh, we're going to let Roman hang on to it for a few months. But no, they didn't. They finally finished the story. And now, for us, the wrestling fans, we're not going to be asking ourselves, well, what happened at WrestleMania, or why did such and such happen at WrestleMania? We're all going to be asking our friends and to ourselves, well, what's next? How the hell can you top that as they kickstarted the Paul Levesque era?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And on another note, speaking of what happens next after WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania was a little bit. I thought it was a little bit of a mess. It was a little bit of a mess. I don't know if we want to talk about it. I don't.
Well, just like what's going forward now, right? So the first hour was that segment with The Rock and Cody Rhodes was definitely a little drawn out, but obviously they set up that match down the line, so that's interesting enough to see. I mean, man, they're doing such great storytelling, and stories that I'm looking forward to when it comes back. When they come back to it, and if Roman will be involved and how. That's kind of the main event picture, right? That's it. They didn't really set anything else up for Cody or anything like that, but time will tell very soon. And then obviously there's rumors.
See, they never used to plant the seeds for stories like this. Like 3-4 years ago, you just do it on the fly, but now we're getting year-long builds where you care about everybody involved.
It's amazing. So,
yeah, it is. It is amazing.
They did the same thing with Rock and Cena when they had their WrestleMania matches too, so it's good to see that back. Incidentally, while we were on the subject of the bloodline of Roman Reigns, whether if you love him or hate him, that's going to be one of the best runs in the modern era of wrestling. Nearly 4 years, he was the undisputed champion, and I feel like there's not a lot of people that can top that, but he really gave us a run for our money. We were able to see him live. We were able to see how the storytelling would get deeper and deeper. There's a reason to it. So shout outs to Roman Reigns for a hell of a run. And for the Bloodline too, whether if the storylines were stale or reinvigorating, it kept us at the edge of our seats since the pandemic. So kudos to Roman Reigns.
Another person who deserves their flowers for this WrestleMania, Seth Rollins. I mean, we obviously gave our flowers to Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, but man, Seth Rollins, he was such a workhorse this entire world title reign and this entire Mania. He was all over this Mania, and he got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways storyline wise, but man, he killed it. He absolutely killed it. He deserves all the flowers.
Yeah, everyone's on top of their game in WWE. We don't have anyone to really complain about, being green or whatever. Everyone is just on top of their game, is so good at it. Man, yeah, I don't know. This is just a great wrestling weekend for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. I know not too many surprises. We had a new debut from NXT on Raw. We'll see what he can do. CM Punk did cost Drew the number one contendership, which he should maybe just have rematch anyway, right? I mean, unless you have to hold
Yeah,
the title
he
for a
should.
certain amount of time. But I mean, that division is still going to be great. Jey Uso got the shot. I don't know, kind of indifferent on that. I mean, whatever. Like he's main event Jey Uso, but hey, they're obviously going to try to pipe up Drew down the line. But again, just excited to see what's going to come forward, and it continues forward. At the time that we're talking, probably the time this episode is released tonight, Friday night SmackDown in Detroit, Michigan. Boys, I'm going. I'm going to be there.
You're actually
Here-
gonna
here-
go?
I'm going.
We're gonna miss you at the Express Games, but you know what? This has precedent, man. The SmackDown after WrestleMania. Yeah, you gotta go, my boy.
I gotta go. I was pretty much gifted a seat, so we're gonna go. We got boots on the ground, and we're gonna have some fun. And I don't know what to expect, except for maybe maybe a Bloodline promo without Roman, maybe with Paul Heyman and Jimmy or something solo. I kind of expect maybe Cody to show up and whatever, and then a couple wrestling matches. So that'll be cool. I mean, it's right there. After this hype, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I said if The Rock's there, I'm gonna go no matter what. But at least who purchased the tickets didn't have to spend an arm and a leg. It's still fairly affordable in a sense. So if The Rock was there, it would have been crazy. So
Enjoy it, bro. Have fun.
Yeah, try to get some pictures and stuff, of course. But
Be sure to follow the Sports Entertainers podcast on social media and Drake's as well to see all that stuff that happened in the SmackDown after WrestleMania. That's going to be a doozy. It's going to be hard to top not only this episode but the episodes we've done in past. But we're going to keep on doing this, and the next time we do this, gents, we're going to have a much better idea of what WWE's planting, or as we go to Backlash and so on and so forth, to see what they're going to do with Cody Rhodes, the new undisputed WWE champion. We're going to call it a wraps on this. By the way, the Cookie Bet champion, the undisputed Cookie Bet champion, is Kurlis Maddie. He's going to defend his championship for a whole year, and we're going to be vying for it again. We'll have more Cookie Bets throughout the year, I'm sure, when it comes to these pay-per-view events. And for all of you tuning in, listening, or watching, be sure to check out one of our latest videos, the best matches that The Undertaker has had in WrestleMania. We ranked it out. We talked about which one tops the other one, so you can check out that. And we're not hard to find on social. The exclusive wrestling podcast here in the Rose City. Be sure to tune in for that. So for the heel, Victor Moore, adrenaline in his soul, it is now his kingdom, Kurlis Maddie. This be your boy, Frost's father, Aaron Sanders, saying we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'll talk to you at the Express Game tonight. And for all of you, you did it in Philadelphia. I'm mighty proud of you. But in the future, wear some soap. We'll talk in a couple of weeks. Bye.